welcome back to a new journaling video. I've got a whole load of bits and pieces on my desk today. We're going to be talking about mood boosting journaling, how I journal when I need a bit of a mood boost. We've had lots going on in the family lately, and sometimes you don't always want to journal the current stuff when it feels a bit raw, but you still want to journal. So this is how I journal when I need a little pick-me-up. So I thought I would talk about that today. Talk about the page process, and we'll just have a little bit of a chat and create today. So I really hope you'll enjoy this kind of video. So first up, had a lot going on, like I said. I don't particularly want to journal about the events at the moment. So what I tend to do is come away from that and grab something that makes me feel happy. I found a photo. I've actually had this back from my nan. She passed recently, and I was given back a whole load of photos that I'd sent to her, and this was one of them. So it feels special because it's come from her, and it's me in Disney. And I just wanted to do a page, just a random page, which has no particular meaning, no particular story. That's what I need right now. I just want to kind of create a bit of escapism. And I thought I would discuss in this page about stopping. For us, sometimes our special moments when we're away are the times when we've not been on a ride, not done anything in particular, but we've just taken a break, we've paused, and that's what we've enjoyed, and we remember many, many of those moments. So I'm going to be talking about this on this particular page. This is one of those journals where it's not from a particular trip. It's just a random Disney journal. So it doesn't have to be about Disney, your journal. You can also have a random journal where you can just pick up and talk about anything. And that's exactly what this is for me. So it doesn't have to be about anything in particular. And sometimes that's what I need. If I'm in this kind of mood, I need a bit like an escapism journal where I can just forget everything, go off into my little crafty creative head and just create and forget about everything else. And that always does me well. It's quite therapeutic, to be honest with you. And I'm also going to be using some bits. Lovely Hayley sent me some bits and pieces to play with. She sent this envelope. Isn't that cute? I love it both sides, so it needs to be a flip. So I'm thinking on this side about flipping it up. I'm not going to be working on this page today, but I will be creating on both sides. I found this as well, this little coffee clip. So I'm going to use that as well. And I've got some bits and pieces. These were sent to me by Paper Maze, so I'll include this little bit as an ad. Isn't this, this is so, getting all my words confused now. This is so cute. Rose's Studio. It's Celebrate You. It's quite birthday themed. However, I'm not using it as birthday themed because I just love it and just feel it's something that I can easily play with, as you can see. The colours are very me. It's really happy, really fun. I just love it. I just think it's really, really perfect. So I'll leave the link below. There's also some really cute die cuts. Again, many of them are quite birthday related, but you can use them with a creative head, and they don't have to be birthday related. As you can see, there's lots of ways you can use them. And I've also got some chipboard frames from this kit as well. Sorry, not kit, from this collection. So I want to use one of those. And I've got a few other bits and pieces. I've also got some scraps left over from a recent Lollipop Box Club class, which I'm really excited about. These are my scraps. They're really colourful. As you know, I love colour. So we're going to be using those today. And I've got a couple of craft punches. So we've got all sorts going on today. Really hope you enjoy this. I'm about to jump on a Zoom with my lovely Patreon group. So I will be creating, and I'll do a little voiceover chatting with you as well. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoy this crafty video. So when it comes to mood boosting journaling, for me, it's just focusing on something that makes me feel happy. So this for me was my Disney journal. Like I said before, it's just pure escapism. I really wanted to use the envelope. The envelope is so cute. I like it front and back, and I want to use it as a pocket as well. I want to use it as a proper envelope. So I've decided to create it as a flip. Then that way I can cuten it up even more on the front. I want to add some color. Hayley said that she wanted to see me use colour on it, so I will be doing that, colouring up the back, making it really pretty, using different papers and things. And I want to make it kind of fit the journal because the journal is really colourful, and colour is also something that boosts my mood. It just makes me so happy. Playing with colour, adding loads of colour to a page just really makes me happy. Yeah, colour really does something for me. I also wanted to play with this new stencil that I've got. It's an exclusive Lollipop Box Club stencil. It's grass, and I thought this would be a really fun way to add some green to the page. It's quite muted, kind of like pinks and orange, which I love, but I do love a colour contrast as well. And again, just getting out my bits and pieces just makes me happy. So I have no game plan at all, but I was doing an unboxing for my recent kit, and this is an add-on, and I just thought, yeah, do you know, I haven't even played with this one yet. So I always think when I'm selling something, I need to be able to use it myself and show examples. So that's what I'm doing today. So usually I say hold a stencil in place, which you need to do when you're using it, but I am moving this one around a bit, so I'm holding it in place while I'm doing it. And then I decided, because I wanted like more of the grass showing, I then kind of like wiggle it around. As you can see, there's quite a lot of space, so then I start placing it like, because obviously real grass overlaps, it goes in different directions. So, and I also wanted to add a little bit of extra color, so by doing this, it makes it look even more real. And I love all the little bits and the longer bits, and it just works really well. I get asked a lot about the little brush that I use for stenciling. I'll leave a link for that below. I found it on Amazon. It works really well with the stencils actually, and I like the fact that you can like press harder to give a more firm look, or you can just brush over softly for like a wispy effect. I've been really impressed with this actually. It does work really well, and as you can see, the effect here is amazing. I'll leave a link to the stencil below as well, by the way. I wanted to break up the colour on the page with where I'm adding the photo, so I thought I would go through the paper pad. I quite like a 6x6. Even when I was doing like the 12x12s, I would still be drawn to 6x6 pads. They're really handy. I love being able to just like tear a bit out, cut a bit. You'll see I end up doing all of that on this page here. But I wanted to add some contrasting colour underneath the photo just to help it stand out. At the moment it kind of just blends into the background a little bit, and that won't do. So I've picked out some papers. I've decided green is the colour I'm wanting to like add accents to on this page. So I've purposely picked out some bits with green in. I think that will go really well. And it's just coincidentally that this paper pad goes really well with the papers already in my journal. We were having a discussion in our Patreon Discord group the other day, in the chat group, about when you've got a journal that you've made, like this one here, and you've already got the papers already down, how do you do things in order? Because sometimes the papers might not actually suit the photos or the story you want to tell. So for me, that's when the kind of like freedom journaling is just so perfect, because you can just turn to whatever page suits. So I had this photo and I just picked out a paper that went really well. This one really suited my page and I went with that. So I don't necessarily always do things in order, and it goes the same for my other trip journals. If I've already made them and I've got the papers in place, I journal whatever order I fancy. I don't stick to like doing them in order. I have done in the past, especially with scrapbooking, and that's easier because you can wiggle your pages around. You've got like the, what you call them, like the D-rings on the side, so you can move things, and you're picking your papers out to suit your photos and your story each time. But when you've made a journal already like this one and you've already got your papers fixed in place, that's not so easy. So you either need to pre-plan and create almost like a plan for your journal, creating your pages in order and almost like making a little bit of a written plan out for them, so you know what you're going to do and on what page. Or I think you've just got to be open and just go with the flow and just think, yeah, I'm either going to make the pages fit so they're in order, or just be open to the fact that you're going to be really free with this journal, and you're not going to get hung up on order, but you're just going to enjoy it, have fun. And at the end of the day, the main thing is the stories get documented. that's what it's all about. It's documenting stories, having fun, and sometimes you've got to just let go of other things. But I've found doing that, I'm really enjoying my journaling. It's made a big difference, sort of being more free. I'm adding the colour now behind. I left the edge there, as you can see, unstuck so that I could easily slide in the papers. I do that quite a lot, just like stick in one side, and then when I'm happy, I'll then firmly stick the rest of the photo or paper down. But I'm liking this look. I think the colours are going well, and it definitely draws the eye into the photo as well. The photo with the background of the photo, it just blended in too much with my papers, so this just does the trick. And as I like a little bit of symmetry on the page, although this isn't symmetry, I'm just adding another bit of green. Because I had green at the bottom, I wanted a bit of green at the top, and I already had this little bit from one of my embellishment postcards, collect moments, not things. So again, it blended into the page quite well, so the green helped it pop. Now, after a bit of wobbling, I'm going to add some stickers. I knew that I was going to call this page Slowing Down. Life just seems so fast at the moment. Do you find that as well? I just feel that sometimes I really miss lockdown. Don't shoot me down for saying that. It's not that I don't want to see people. I miss the slow pace. I miss the not having to keep making arrangements to see people, not having to try and fit things in all the time, appointments, family time and all that kind of thing. And I'm not talking about my kids, that's different, they were here with me, but other family commitments. I just find with working and trying to do everything else, life is just so fast, and we always promised ourselves during lockdown that we wouldn't go back to that fast pace, and we've slipped right back in again. And I just feel like I've got an anxiety feeling. I just feel like I can't keep up. I'm always feeling behind. My diary is always full of things, and don't get me wrong, a lot of them are really nice things. I shouldn't complain, but my body feels differently, and my body is constantly telling me to slow down. And that's what this page was about, not reminding myself to slow down, but actually documenting all the fun times that we've had through slowing down. Because when I think back over our trips, the moments I remember the most are when when we've slowed down as a family and taken time out. And that's what I thought this page would be about today. Our last trip was crazy busy. It really was. We really didn't listen to ourselves or our bodies, and it was full on for most of the time. I'm using the zine from the August kit. It's a little mini magazine that I have for my kits, and this month is all about going places, which fits in quite well, even though I'm not using much of the kit on this particular page. But I did want to use this little quote that I've included, and the idea with the kits and the zine is that they're there for you to use. So I'm cutting this out of the front piece of the zine, and it's something I'm a strong believer in. Have stories to tell, not stuff to show. I've always been one of those people that would rather have an experience, a memory, than a physical gift. Like with Aid, we don't do presents, but we have our trips, for example, and I would rather go out for the day or go out for lunch with him or have a picnic than him actually buy me something that, to be honest, I don't really need. So I've always been one to prefer to have a memory with somebody. Goes hand in hand with scrapbooking, really, doesn't it? So I thought that was absolutely perfect, because again, it goes hand in hand with what I was saying about slowing down, sharing time with family and friends, not necessarily buying things, doing things, if you know what I mean, but it's actually sitting down, stopping, chatting. That's when I personally enjoy my time the most. I'm using one of the little chipboard frames that Paper Maze sent me. Wasn't that a great fit? I'm so chuffed. And it's great because the word stories is in green, which just goes perfectly. The frames are sticky backed, so that goes really well. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of double-sided sticky tape to pop that in place. And yeah, it just went really well. I was so chuffed with that. Quite nice when something goes to plan. There were also some die cuts as well that I received to go with this collection. They were very birthday heavy. However, I've picked a load out that aren't birthday heavy. I'm a strong believer in you can make anything work. And although these say hooray, cheers, yay, all that kind of thing, they again fit really well with this page. So I didn't worry so much. So I'm sticking them on with some tape and it's just bringing the page together. So this one with the black wording and the little speech bubble, it went perfectly with the black of the envelope. So it's just, I'm using the die cuts to kind of fill a space and bring the page together. I just wanted to touch on the fact of, like, as this is all about mood boosting journaling, and I know for some people, if you're feeling hurt, actually journaling your feelings and all that can be really helpful. This today was more, it wasn't anything heavy, it was just the fact that my dad's gone back to the States and I just felt really low, and I don't feel ready yet to journal our stories because I knew it would make me cry, and I wanted to feel happy. We've had just such an amazing time, and so this for me was a pure distraction today. And this was exactly what I needed. I haven't had any creative time lately because all the family have been over and I just wanted something to cheer me up. And that's exactly what today was. So it wasn't like a heavy session. It was just a little bit of happiness that I needed today. Something light, something cheerful, and not something that was going to make me cry. So that's all that today was about. And like I said, I know that if you're feeling really low or something, sometimes journaling your feelings can be really powerful and it can really, really help you. It might not feel like it at the time, but later you feel like you've done some real good. So I'm not saying just ignore your feelings and things like that and just journal about Disney. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for today it was just a simple pick me up, and that's what today was all about. And it really did the trick, just playing with pretty paper, focusing on something else other than obviously what I was feeling down about, and this was exactly what I needed today. I can't be the only one that turns to my journals when I need a pick-me-up. I'm sure lots of you do too. Let me know if that's also the case. And how do you deal with it? Do you just do like an art journaling page? Do you go to like a happier memory like what I've done today? What do you tend to do when you need that pick-me-up? I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and let us know. Something else I like to do when I'm having a bit of a mood boosting journaling session is I get out bits and pieces that I haven't used for ages, and my punches are one of those. They're in baskets next to my desk, so there's no excuse. I still forget they're there. And today I thought, I'm going to get a couple of punches out and have a bit of fun. So I used one of the papers with all the words on. I needed a contrast, and this obviously has a white background, so I thought that would work quite well. So I've punched down to load, and then I thought I'd get my Mickey punch out as well. I said I had those scraps left over. I did a collage class recently, and I cut out a load of Mickeys from the collages that I did. They're just so fun because they're just full of colour. I just love how they've come out. They're really, really fun. You can see I've stuck them in place here, and they've just added so much colour to the page. But obviously not everyone wants a Mickey Mouse on their page, so you could do butterflies, you could do hearts, anything like that, and it's just a great way to add a little bit of colour. If you're interested in the class, by the way, it's a really, really fun collage class where we make collage butterflies. I love it. I'm so happy with how they've turned out. I'll leave a link down below, and not only do you get access to that one class, it starts next week, but you get access to all the other classes that I've been doing for the last 18 months. So it's like $5.50, I think it's $5.50 plus local tax, and you get downloads every month. You get access to our chat group. We have 2 Zoom sessions a month. You just get loads and loads of stuff. You get extra videos. There's loads and loads and loads of content, and you get access, like I said, to everything since I started 18 months ago. So you get quite a lot for your money, to be honest. But yeah, the next class is starting next week. So yeah, I'm sticking these on. I've just felt they didn't quite show out enough, so I'm just going around with a black journal pen. I'm quite a fan of the black journal pen, to be honest, and I do that quite a lot, just kind of like just roughly doodle around the edge, and like you can see here, it really does make it stand out. You'll see when I pop one here and then pop the Mickey Mouse on top, you'll see the difference that you really do kind of need it. I love these collage papers, aren't they cool? I might do a journal cover with one, actually. I'm quite fancying doing something like that. I had so much fun. You could just see the Mickey Mouse when it was in place there, that it just needs that black edge to really help it pop. It just makes such a big difference. I love that coffee cup clip, by the way. I can't remember where I got it from. I don't know whether I bought it on Etsy ages ago, but I've got a whole load of little clips in a tray on my desk, and I just love every now and then sort of like just dipping in and taking something out for one of my pages. I've decided to cover the inside of the envelope as well, just so it matches a little bit better, and I'm just using a piece of the paper, and I just thought I would roughly tear it down because I like that kind of torn texture, and I thought it would look a little bit pretty. I've decided to do the inside of the page as well, just to bring it all together. I'm wanting to use a contrast of paper. I will not be covering up the Mickey inside, by the way, just the darker colour, because it doesn't really fit in with the page. I thought, you know, seeing as I've got all these lovely papers, I may as well use them and cover up the envelope just so they look really pretty. I'm going to cut around the edge. I was trying to figure out the best way to cover an envelope, and I've decided to go with this way, and then trim around the outside, and then you're left with the covered envelope. So I thought that would make sense. Something I have done in the past is actually open out the whole envelope if I've wanted it completely covered, sort of like undo all the little stuck down bits so it's flat, and then drawn around it like a template, and that's worked quite well as well. I then decided to carry on covering up. I know I haven't done the best job here, but I've made it work, and it's all about having fun, isn't it? I'm sure I could have done it much better, but I was chatting on a Zoom, like I said, and I wasn't really just I was paying full attention, but you know what I mean. It was just about having fun today. So I ended up sticking over this little piece of green paper just to cover up that middle bit. And look, it looks amazing. It's worked out so well. So I'm really pleased. And then I had this hooray die cut as well. And hooray, I've covered an envelope. So that can definitely go on the middle there. But I wanted to make sure it was high enough just to sit underneath the flip bit there. And yeah, I'm chuffed with that. That's actually worked out really, really well. Like I said, I'm sure there's better ways to cover an envelope, but do you know, this looks perfect to me today. I'm really pleased with it, and that's all that matters. I'm going to continue using up a few die cuts and just having fun with the page now. I do love a bit of fussy cutting. I find that really therapeutic as well, and I thought I would add some of the flowers here onto the envelope. I thought that would look really cute. Fussy cutting is something I think you either love or hate. I do quite like it. One of our ladies in our Facebook group the other day, she shared a photo. She had stamped loads and loads and loads of images and cut them all out. They looked so beautiful in her organising tray, and there were so many of them. And another person commented that she really hated fussy cutting, and somebody else said they loved it. So I think it is a bit of a Marmite one, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I do quite like it, and it is one of those things you could just sit there in front of the TV fussy cutting a whole load of things and just not have to think about it. But then it's really nice because then when you come to create, you've got all these lovely little cut bits and pieces, embellishments. I decided to get out the grass stencil again and add a little bit of the grass to the front of the envelope. I've really gone to town on this envelope, haven't I? I hadn't actually even planned to do that. It's just kind of, my mind's just kind of gone off on its own little adventure today. I think I needed this session more than I realised. There's a lot to be said for taking some time out with your journal and just not thinking and having fun and just playing with paper. I think it did me the world of good today. So I'm sticking down the little flowers that I've just been cutting out. Don't they add the perfect amount of colour on there? I'm so pleased with how they've turned out. And I then wanted to add some cute little leaves. The leaves on the paper weren't quite large enough, and I wanted to add that extra bit of green because green was always the little like pop of colour that I decided to add to my page. And I saw on my desk that I still had some of my collage left, and that's got some bright green in it, so I thought that would do perfectly. So once I'd finished sticking the flowers down, I grabbed the green and just roughly cut some leaves out. They don't even like look proper leaf shape, but don't they look cute? They just sat on the page. I've just tucked them behind the flowers, and they are the perfect leaf, so I'm really pleased with those, just using a few little scraps. And yeah, it's really transformed that envelope. I'm so pleased, and I'm so grateful to Hayley. I almost felt like Hayley gave me a bit of a challenge. She had sent me some happy mail, just some envelopes and stationery and bits and pieces. It was just all so much fun. But in the letter, she said that she was looking forward to seeing me journaling and adding some colour. And so I kind of like saw it as a challenge almost. And I was excited to work with it. And Hayley, I hope you're happy with this page today. And thank you so, so much. I'm so grateful to you. Your happy mail was just perfect. It really was. And it just really made my day. Thank you. I'm really pleased with this. I'm going back round with my black journaling pen just to help it stand out a little bit. I do think it makes a difference, don't you? And then I thought I would go around the flowers as well, just again to make them stand out. And again, because they've got the black centre, it just really works. And I'm really, really pleased with how this page has ended up turning out. I wanted to include some journaling as well. And as Hayley included some writing paper, I thought that would be absolutely perfect for my page. So as I've got the envelope, I thought I would journal on the writing paper there and pop that in. I also wanted just to add a little bit on the page opposite. As much as I love the paper with all the cameras on, I felt it didn't quite go. So I wanted still to be able to see the cameras because I love them, but I wanted the page to fit in with the rest of my page. So I've taken some of the paper from Hayley, popped that onto a little piece of the green that I've used on the page on the other side. And I just felt that all then tied in really, really well, having the Disney paper and the green and on top of the cameras. It just ended up being a perfect page. I was really, really pleased with it. I really do recommend giving this type of journaling a go if you just feel like you just need a pick-me-up, just something that you don't need to really focus on, something that makes you happy, where you can just play with pretty paper, cut things up. It's a fussy cutting, playing with some basic old supplies, using up scraps. It just makes you feel good. It really is a good mood boost, and I highly, highly recommend it. I'm so glad I took this time out for me today. It just did me the world of good. Well, that was a very successful Zoom session. I always find in that hour I managed to do so much. I'm really, really pleased. I've come away. I've got a few more bits and pieces I'd like to do. I thought I might frame that. I thought that looks really cute. I love these frames with a little sticky back. So I'm going to pop one of those on there. I just thought I love this, but I'd like to add a bit more colour. So let's pop that on there. That is perfect. I like these little chipboard frames. Oh, saying that, that's not going to stick. So let's add some double-sided tape. I think because it's not completely flat, it doesn't want to stick on properly, but that's no bother. We can just make sure that's nice and secure with some double-sided tape. And I've got a few more die cuts from the pack as well that I am going to use. That feels much more better. I just found a little paper clip. I just thought I might add that somewhere. No idea where. I do quite like a paper clip for a bit of extra colour. Might leave that as it is at the moment. I also found this, Sending Sunshine and Rainbows. I thought I might pop that down the bottom there, just to add something else. And I like that little torn edge there showing. I like that. And I also found this, which I really like, in the same pack, Keep Shining Like You Always Do. I quite like the idea of that. I did also want to tart up the paper here that I'm going to be journaling on. Might even, I quite like, I don't know, I don't want to make it too busy. Does that make it too busy? I might keep that as it is. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of foam tape. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try this. Underneath, because at the moment this is kind of like floating a little bit. Let's see if this works. Just to hold it in place a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. That looks tidier. I did kind of fancy adding something up here a bit more. Ooh. No, I don't think that. could add it there, or I might actually add something to here. I'm thinking some green. Oh, you can't see that, can you? I've got some of this left over from what I was working on. So how about we add this on here like that. I think this will look fun. So that, and then that. I think that would be really nice. Let's secure that down, and I'm going to do exactly the same at the top as well. It's only going to be literally with my journaling on. It's not, and it's going to be in the envelope, so it's not going to like feature on the page as such, but I'd still like it to look nice. And I think let's cut the flowers out as well and add a few of those. I think that would look really nice, just to add a little bit of extra colour. This is turning out to be a page that I'm really pleased with. I've had so much fun with this, and this is just a scrap piece here left over, so I'm just going to randomly cut these bits out. I pop that there. Again, it's just about adding a little bit of colour to the page. And I'm going to treat this, I think, exactly as I did with the other bits and pieces. I'm going to do some leaves as well. There we go. That's really changed up that writing paper, hasn't it? And that's all ready for my journaling. So I have finished my journaling, and I've actually documented about taking things slowly, and I've like told loads and loads of little stories from over the years of when we've taken things slowly and the things that I remember. And I ended up not needing the whole page, but it looks a bit messy, or not messy, it just looks not finished. So I've done a continued, and I just thought it's something then that I can go back and add to another time. So that is my journaling, which I am pleased about. Let's just tuck that over like that. I'm happy with that. And I think this page may, oh, I haven't journaled anything there. Let's quickly do that. There we go. That is my finished page. So let's run through this. I'm really happy with this envelope. Isn't that cute? I'm so grateful to Hayley for sending me this. It's completely inspired my page, and I absolutely love this paper collection, the frames and the die cuts from Rose's Studio, so I will link those down below. And Hayley wanted to see how I would brighten up the bits and pieces. So Hayley, I hope you're pleased with this. And I've got my journaling there with my little stories that I've told, which I can add to. I'm super chuffed with that. And I've obviously spoken about how slowing down is just the best for us. It really is. So I've documented here, we still need reminding. We have the best time when we slow down and take it all in. Tortoise over the hare always wins. There we go. And yes, I've made a couple of spelling errors. I always do that. I think my head works faster than my hands sometimes, but it's not the end of the world. It's my journal at the end of the day. So it's for nobody else to see. It's just my work. And I've got a little pocket here if ever I do want to add anything extra. And I'm super pleased with this page here. I'm really chuffed with this. It was a really good session for me. Packed me up. I've had some good news as well whilst I've been filming about my dad, so that's really good. I've just felt really on edge today. It's been a high anxiety day with lots of family stuff going on, and I needed this. It's really helped me, and I've ended the day with some good news, so that's really good. But thank you for watching. Oh, I was going to add some coloured washi tape here. I've just realised. Let's do this one. But, I'm really grateful to you for watching. I hope it's helped you as well. Let me know what you kind of do when you need a bit of this isn't going to work very well, when you need a bit of a boost. Do you journal difficult times? Do you just journal for the sake of journaling, a bit like what I've done today, but focus on positivity? I guess with each person, each situation, it always varies, doesn't it? We're all different, and we all need different things at different times. So I guess it's just dealing with the situation at the time, isn't it? Yeah, I'd love to hear from you though, and see how you tackle things. But that's a little bit better. Oh, I like that. But thank you. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've got something out of this too. Leave a comment, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Bye.